Okay, record button's on. Go ahead, Mike.
You can see I can see the same here on a 4 hour chart. If you can you give me control or
Yep.
not? I don't know if you can.
Yes. Well, let's see. I think we might be able to do it. No.
Otherwise, all right. Well, just go back to the big black candle that dissects the line further over to your right. To the
Here.
right. No, to the right.
Oh,
That's it. That one there.
yes.
Uh, big big bearish engulfing candle, and then look how much it drops.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But now you're saying this is the bearish engulfing candle that pierces the
Yeah.
bottom of this box?
Well, yeah, I wasn't. I mean, whether the box is there or not. I mean, obviously, it's nice if you've got some other confluence, but I mean,
Oh, sure.
just just the like the you can looking at the daily charts, you can see these huge, great engulfing candles or inside bars, and it's amazing how much there is from that. I know we haven't actually done candle DNA yet, but uh,
Yeah, quite true. Well, this was engulfing and it was a
yeah,
twin tower.
yeah, it had everything going for it. That one, yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer trade there.
and it was right at the location as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it had all the markings for it. So
yeah.
that was good. Um, Now keep in mind that our goal, excuse me, I was up late last night. Um, Keep in mind that our trading goal today is well, not specifically today, but our trading goal is to get to 200, $240 or so. So we can use that to take trades with a standard account. This is only a $5,000 account, so trading standard accounts, trading a standard lot is a bit, uh, quite a bit outside of the normal money management teachings,
Yeah.
and that I'm very, very well aware of that. But I do know that if you handle your trade entries and exits properly, it still will not cause you to kill an account. And as you've seen when we've had a drawdown, we adjust our lot size and we, take little bites to get back to where we were, which is what we did last time. Now, before the recorder was on, I mentioned that we drew these boxes at the last session we had, and I was explaining how these boxes create these rejection levels. And Mike coined the phrase trading at extremes. And price was somewhere down in this area, I would imagine. But while we were gone, price came up and tagged this box and gave us a nice 100 pip uh, drop from there and pretty much went right to the top of the box just below
Mm.
it. Again, just to give you an idea of how powerful these areas are. And what makes these areas key is the speed, the velocity, the intensity, or the anger, or whatever you want to call it, that price leaves this area.
Yeah.
When price leaves an area like that, with that kind of speed and intensity, it's usually an indication that there's some sort of a game going on up here with the
Yeah.
buyers and sellers, and they will remember it when they get back.
The second one's even better actually, isn't it? Because there's no retrace at all, is there, with the next one?
Which one are you speaking of?
The next
Here.
yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's on the first one there's a bit of a retrace on the next candle, but on this one it's just
Yeah.
straight down, isn't it?
Yep. This was straight down, and then when
Yeah.
we got near it, again, we probably got another 100 pip pull off of that, 140 pip.
Yeah.
And you see if your stop is right at the back of this box, that's usually pretty good. I prefer to put the stop twice this box, just, my own personal preference on this type of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
because occasionally you will get something like this. um, so that's something that we will come back to when we start looking at longer term trades.
Mm.
So let me squeeze down, and you see we're getting rejected here now too, it looks like, with the possibility of prices coming back down into this area. And this is what pound Aussie. That's something we can. take a look at on a lower time frame. And that's 1889. And this should be our 5-5. Okay, I meant to put a tag on these. And let me just do that now. Put a text label.
There's a watermark indicator. I think you can get it fixed on the back of the chart, can't you?
Yeah, but this is close to it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I have so many things trading that I should stay right in the middle the entire time. Yeah, there we go. Or it'll stay wherever I put it.
Yeah.
And I have learned that it's kind of beneficial to mark the templates so I know their name, because sometimes you need to delete stuff in order to get MT4 to run faster. And this was just news, just this second. It's a 1 minute candle, and that's at 8:30, 8:29 rather.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have had some news, haven't we? Yeah.
It wasn't dramatic. It's just a 20 pip move. It looks like a lot because this is a 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
Let's go out to a 5. And let me just look at this.
Ooh.
We tagged this psychological level here. But if I go back to a 1, I still don't have an entry yet. And let's go back to our trade set up here. Let's go to New Zealand dollar. Nothing there, but we do have a decent long signal setting up. And we've only covered 60 pips today, so we should have about 80, conservatively, 80 pips in one direction. And we've got our divergence buddy here. Prices went higher. And the MACD, I'll use the turbo, went lower. Or the MACD, either one played out just right. So if we get this arrow back here again, that would give me a bit more confidence to jump on board with this. So we'll leave New Zealand dollar up at the top. Okay, nothing much going on here. This is just a huge bounce off this level. Are we more than 5 pips away? Yes, we are. So I'm not going to chase that. Let's take a look at Euro Yen. This looks much better. Let's just see if we have anything to help us out here. Not so much. Okay, we've got a bit of divergence here. Let me just see what my ranges are. Well, we're about 80% into the range here on Euro Yen. So this high may be all we get out of this today. We did 150.
That's one of those ones where you've got an 18. There was an 1889, and the candle closed above where the line would be, and then you've got a lower entry now. But it's one of those ones. Do you do it or not?
Yeah, correct. Absolutely correct. And that's when I look for some other confluences. So we do have a, let me see, this is lower, but this is also lower. So we don't have a regular divergence. We may have a bit of hidden divergence here in that, no, because this is all going to be lower. And this is a Christmas tree. Let's take a look at where is Euro and where is Yen, and they're about 2 points apart. So it's not a pretty enough chart for me. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. And the 1 minute's a bit of a mess also. Let me look at the 15. So we're price trapping here is what's going on a 15-minute chart. That's what that looks like. That's what all of this noise on the 1 minute seems to be. This back and forward like this. All right. Okay, so I'll wait on this. And as I said, we're pretty close to the yesterday's range on this. And New Zealand dollar was the first pair we looked at. And New Zealand, and they're extremely far apart, but I don't have a signal here. And we've got the divergence. That would be the way to go, but we still have a bit of a Christmas tree here with the rest of our indicators. Um, dollar CAD. I'm assuming that was CAD news.
There was CAD news. It wasn't major news, though.
All right. Well, yeah, you can see it was a CAD move for sure. And here we have some room to the top. This might be a little bit better entry here. Let me squeeze this in and just get a bit of bigger picture. Yeah, we could certainly get back to the overnight high, but we need to see how this is going to unfold. Let's go down to a 1 minute and see if we get a long signal here on the one. It doesn't look like it. This was the long signal here. Let me open this up so I can see these candles correctly. Right, that was our long signal there. And that produced only 8 pips, minus 3. Would have been a small trade. And again, what I'm doing is I'm doing the beauty contest. Eesh, that's not pretty.
Yeah, there's not much beauty out there this morning.
Yeah.
I was about to enter the New Zealand yen, but I noticed it was news in a couple minutes. It's a good thing I didn't.
Now, I'm guessing this is like a 15-minute price trap. And there it is, this green, this candle right here. We've actually moved in a couple of candles where, I guess, let me open this up. This red one seems to be the, no, this one, because we have 2 after it. So this is our price trap here. Looks like we may get a bounce off of our 18, if anything. But, boy, it's ready to make a long move. But we'll have to see. I don't see anything compelling here on the chart. There's no divergences here. Nothing here, really. Let's go back to the 5. And the Orient Express is usually good for some pretty good moves. We've got about 40 pips left, I would say, 20 to 40 pips in one direction or another. Let's go to a 1 minute. Let me see where we are in the 1 minute. The 1 minute, we're actually below all of our levels here. We're below both 5s at the close of this candle, but we don't have a signal here. There it is. It must have heard me. So it's struggling to get its feet underneath it. And a lot of piano keys. All right, so I'll come back to that. New Zealand yen, let's take a look at that. Now this is much smoother. You see how much smoother these lines are here? It's a 3 pip spread, and this looks like it wants to go down here, which is only 7 pips. And take out the 3. It could be good for a 5 pip move, but it's gone already. And we don't have any divergence. Nothing there yet. And we've got a little room left. In order for this to get to 150, it's got to give us about 70 pips past this point. So it has to come all the way down here and get past this. And there's a lot of resistance between here and there. You've got resistance here. You've got this whole set of levels right here. So not that it can't happen, but my bias would still be long here until I see some evidence otherwise. And this is New Zealand yen. And let me see, New Zealand and yen are a little bit less than 2 points apart. But I like the chart. Let's just move that up so we can look at that. dollar yen doesn't have enough daily range to really be exciting. 120 is big for dollar yen. And we've got some left here. And this is a hyper scalp trade here. That bounce. And let me see, hyper scalp with a 10 pip. All right, with a 10 pip stop, you'd still be in it. Let's see here. There are no divergences there. And we've got this key level right above us. Thank you, Phil, for bringing that to our attention, or bringing the indicator or the thought to the group's attention. Dollar Chef. Again, I don't see anything compelling. This was our last signal here on Dollar Chef, and that was a counter trend. And we did have divergence for the counter trend trade in a number of places here with the MACD, as you can see here. The MACD up to that point went higher, and here it was going lower. And then we wait for the B bands to give us a signal. Aussie dollar, this looks good. How far down are we from this? Okay, we're less than a couple of pips. Where's Aussie and where's the US?
About 2.5.
Yeah, this looks like a good shot. A 0.25 at them. That's good also. Let's squeeze this in. And this candle closed below the 55, below the 18, below both fives. And it's in line with the current downtrend. All right, so that's kind of a no-brainer. This is a key level right here. We've got these three spots here, but that amount of energy in one direction, I'll go with that. Let's put in a stop. Let me see. Right there is 10 pips, and what do we have? 1.7. I like the spread on this. I don't want to go all the way up to this 00. That's 15 pips. I'll go 10 plus a 2 pip spread. I'll go 12 on this. 12-ish. And so again, this is that key level, and you see we stop right there. Yeah. But there's a lot of room left. Now, for this to go all the way back 30 pips, that's not insurmountable. But that 115 won't change until we get above this high. I believe that's the high of the day, yeah. Let's put a take profit down here of 15. But I'll take 10 manually if it shows up during the day. And, you know, when I put the 15, if there's a sudden spike or something and it goes in our direction, I'll let the platform take it for us. Let's push this up here. That's an active trade. Now, let me see. That's an Aussie. So let's look at another Aussie pair. Let's look at Aussie yen, since Aussie is weak. And here was another signal here on Aussie yen. So that's just to confirm that Aussie is weak and possibly making shorts. Not that I'm going to take two Aussie trades, because the cross pairs are different. Let's take a look at Euro Pound. It's generally a slow mover. Wow, 104 for Euro Pound is that's big. Here we had divergence here, as you can see. We had divergence, and then after that divergence kicks in, we have our signal. Oh, let me draw the. So just keep that in mind when you see the divergence. The signal after the divergence is usually a pretty good one. And this is Euro Pound. So I got a 1 pip. Well, I don't have a fresh signal here. Let me go down to a 1 minute. Oh, there we go. I'm actually going to take a stab at this euro pound. All right. And it usually pays, I didn't check the my other platform. Euro pound usually pays more than the other pairs. Let's
Yeah.
put a stop in here. 9. And what do we got? Like a 2 pip spread. That's 15 pips to there. Kind of don't want to go that far. Uh, I'll take it for now. 15. Let's bring this down here. Now, where did that come from? That trade was popped. It had a 2 pip spread. I never saw the spread jump. Oh, so that, oh, a 1 minute chart. Okay. I still like this trade though. Um, I'm back at it again. Hey, Euro pound has a lot of volatility. Oh, I read the wrong damn number. Jesus help me. This is 10 pips up here. You see the mistake I did? You see that? I read the first number, that 1183.
Oh yeah.
Ah, but I still like the trade. So 10 pips is up here, up at this cluster. I'll put it right at the shelf. Brain fart. And it cost me. All right, but I believe we'll get that back also. And bring this down here. I have to adjust it again. That was a stupid thing. Bring that down to 10. Those kind of mistakes I hate. Because just not paying attention. All right, so that's there. Let's go back to Aussie dollar. And we are short on our Aussie. This is a 1 minute chart. All right, so that's a pullback. Somewhere in here is where I would expect it to stall out. Right in that area of all these wicks. And it should give us a turnaround if it gets that high. So let's go. That's Aussie
Lou, while
dollar.
you're on that chart, does that qualify as a twin tower, that last one there, or not?
With this one?
Yeah. No, the one before.
This qualifies as a twin tower long.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Yeah.
Right. But it's in a pullback of a down market. So
No,
I
I
would
understand
expect,
that. Yeah, I just wondered if it actually qualified as one. Yeah.
yeah. So I expect the next candle to move in that direction, which it did. So it'll,
Yeah.
And it would have given a couple of pips, not much, but
Yeah.
you got the idea. So,
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a pullback. So, and this is where I would target the pullback to finish. Oh, I'm just ticked at that euro pound thing. That was just stupid, not paying attention. But it was only $15. So it's not devastating. All right. Let's I told you I might have mentioned I lost some money on my live account, not knowing how to switch from live to demo with that other
Oh,
broker.
yeah, on the S&P. Yeah.
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 These things happen. All right, so euro yen, we had the divergence there again. We pointed out euro yen like that, and then the signal after the divergence. Let me draw this again so you can see what I'm talking about. And that's usually a good signal after the divergence. Dollar CAD. This is looking for I would say a short position, but we don't have anything setting up here just yet. That's clearly a downtrend. All right, it's not a real pretty chart anyway. Let's look at pound dollar. What kind of battle went on last night?
Yeah.
Look at that. Holy cow. That was a slugfest. But we do have a potential short. We're less than 5 pips away, and we've got a 3-pip spread, so I'm going to take that short. All right. When I look at all these wicks here, it's just painfully obvious someone wanted to keep prices underneath this level, and this is probably more the Asian high here. See that? That's what I think most of that was. So let's put a stop in, and let me read my number correctly. 4, 10. I'll go right to this guy right here. Right there. To that shelf, I should call it. And we're going to bring this down. This is a key level here. The overnight low. And I'll bring this down to 12, but if I get a manual 10, I'll take it. All right, so we've got Aussie dollar sell, pound dollar sell, which makes sense because the dollar is on the cross side, so we're not hedging ourselves indirectly. And euro pound. So let's go there, and let's bring euro pound up to the top of the list. So let's just go back and review. Aussie dollar was trying to do a pullback thing. These are going to be some real slow trades. And I just got that feeling. Oh, wait a minute. I took this on a 1 minute, I hope. Yeah, it took it over on this, and that's about a 1. Yeah, okay, good. So that was a 1 minute. I didn't go back and put anything in the comments. That just takes extra time. And pound dollar, we took this one also. I believe this was a 1 minute trade also. Oh, it's the same trade we just looked at. I wanted to go to euro pound. All right. And euro pound was a 5 minute trade, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
No, there's no signal here. It had to be a 1 minute trade. Has it been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, it hasn't been that many minutes since I took the trade, has it?
No, I think you did it after the 5 minute chart, Lou, that one.
I know I'm a little sleepy, but not that sleepy. There should be an arrow on one of these two candles if I took this on a 5 minute chart. I'm thinking it may have been a 1 minute chart, and I'll have to go back and review everything, but I think it was on the 1 minute chart. Oh, I hate that. Second time I've done that in the last couple of days. When I go back and look at the video again, I'll remember what my thinking was.
You have to ask Daryl, Lou. He's the B-Band's king these days. He's creaming it.
Oh, Daryl, talk to us.
Okay.
I don't know if you're creaming it or not, but
Yeah, I do like cream. No, I mean, I got up early yesterday and I was looking at the charts, and one I saw that I liked was the Euro Kiwi, and Euro New Zealand, and I put two entries in it. Actually, it pulled back some. That's what I was expecting it to do, so I added another entry there. It ended up on the day with about 88 pips on that thing.
oh, nice on a B-band.
Yeah, pretty much it was that and the price formation.
What chart? Let's take a look at it because there's nothing to do here now but wait on these.
All right. You're
Oh
on
wait, I'll give you. I can make you presenter if you want.
um, yeah. Okay.
All right, and make presenter. Yeah, I'm not sure why we can't make Mike the presenter or give him control. I have to do some investigation.
Oh, okay. You want to see my screen? Hold on.
Yeah,
All
or
right. Yeah, do it. Let me. I was on the wrong thing here. Take it back and then give it back to me. I'm going to put you in a different screen.
okay. Oh, I don't want to end the meeting. Wait, yeah, let me get it back.
Or do I have to do that?
No. I'll do it. Um, all right. Now I should be back. Is my screen back?
Yeah, now you've got to make him presenter now.
All right. You ready now? Well, I've got this drawing tool. What is this drawing thing that keeps popping up?
Who knows? Okay, so
So I'm going to make you the presenter, Daryl.
all right, stand by here. Oops, wrong one. Okay. All right. Okay. Am I live now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Now we're getting feedback.
No, you sound good here.
All right. All right. Let's see here. This is a 5-minute. You're in New Zealand, and okay. So I got up yesterday. I can't drag the trade up here because I took it on a different platform. But I got up yesterday, and it was right up. Let me see. It's, 60, 72. Okay, so I had to take some heat, but I got in right here initially. Yeah, right about here. Actually, I got in here, but the spread was 5 or 6 pips, so it put me in way up here. So initially, I had to take all this heat coming down. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, here we go. Anyways, I was looking at, we just had a B-band going up, all the moving averages are going up, blah, blah, blah. And, okay, so I liked it because it broke above here, so I was anticipating it was going to continue up. It had been an up thing ever since in the Asian session at some point. So I got in here. Price put me in about this level, and so I had to take all this heat down here. But my stop was, I think it was down here, 38 or something. And then it got down to, let's see, over here, and I got back in right about here as, we had a bottom, and then this candle broke the green one right here. So I added another position. Still had to wait. Took a little bit more heat, not much, and then it went up. And actually, my last position that I got into, I got out right about here. So it was about 40 pips in the last one, and the first one I got out at 20 pips, so somewhere around here, and no, wait, 20, 60, I don't know, but it was a lot of pips. Actually, I entered again right in here someplace, thinking, oh, it's going to go up again, and or maybe it was later on than that. But anyways, I entered again I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? Because initially I told Michael that this thing could go up, 200 pips or something. Then I'm thinking, I put it in, and I'm going, oh shit, FOMC's coming up here. So I pulled it off, fortunately, with maybe 8 pips, 7 pips. So that was the trade. Anyways, I was just following the trend, and I did it primarily based on a break of this particular high. It came down. This is what these volatile pairs move. It comes down, 26 pips, which actually isn't a lot on this one. I got it up here. So it came down 17 pips or whatever, and which isn't a lot on these, but I did expect a pullback. But my stop was way down below this yellow line. But then yesterday when I got back in before non-farm payroll, I got in because price retraced back down to here. In fact, I got in. I punched the button right here because in my mind, I said 45 is the number, and it was 64.45. So 45 is the number that I liked, and I can show you back in the chart if you want. So I punched in here, and it went straight up, and then it started to come back, and I'm going, holy shit, non-farm payroll, FOMC. So I got out probably right about here with my 8 pips or 7 pips or something. That was going on in my little pea brain here. So,
Okay, well, it seems to work for you. You have a few different ways of getting into the trade. On that first trade where you broke the level, because Michael mentioned the B bands, I'm just trying to understand, was it because of the B band alert that you looked for a break of that level?
No. I hadn't even looked at this chart yet. I got up and I was going through the charts, and I'm going crap, and I came to this one. I'm going, this is moving up smartly. It had been since things running slow, and it had been since like way down here. This is let's see here. This is what time is this? This is 3. So this is Tokyo Open right about here. This thing's already gone up nicely, and at this point it gone up 192, which is, that's a lot of pips, but this is the Euro New Zealand. So I was willing to risk it.
I can see why you did it though, Daryl, because at the time you took your first entry, the chart was in a clear uptrend. It had just taken out the last swing high, so can see why you did it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But when you mentioned the B bands, I was looking to see how he correlated that, since that's what we're working on. And
yeah, he's got B bands on the chart there. I can see him. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is I tweaked the B bands so that it comes up with arrows that I can see.
Oh, okay.
B bands.
Yeah, Daryl's the king of the coding modifications as well these days.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's very, very good to know.
Yeah. So
I didn't want to interrupt you, but we were up 10 pips a couple of times on the pound dollar.
Oh, yeah. Did you take it?
No, and it bounced back to 9 and some change. It looks like it wants to. It's dancing between 8.5 and 9 right now.
Take it.
Let me get my close order button open. I know you can't see it, but let me just close order. I'm at 9.6, 10. Got it. All right, but we'll come back and review that in a minute.
So yeah. Anyways, with Michael's help, because I don't know anything about coding, but it was really simple once we opened it up, and I just changed this. This is the arrows, the aqua and the red.
Oh, you changed it to a larger size, yeah.
3. So that's the default setting on it now. All
right, that's good.
And I changed the following dots and lines to a darker green and a darker red.
Right. Well, you could
Because I
take the
like,
dots and lines off, you know.
yeah, oh, yeah, I know that, but I like them because they give me also another kind of line in the sand to go by, and because they're a darker color, they don't interfere with the other stuff going on here. I mean, I got a couple moving averages and whatnot
Yeah, it makes sense.
that I watch, and I'm experimenting with this Ozma down here. And the cool thing about Ozma is that you can add a moving average to it, and that's what it shows all throughout. Like if you put a moving average on another oscillator, it goes all squirrely when you move ahead in time.
Well, it depends on if you apply it to the first oscillator or the first indicator or a previous indicator.
Um,
It makes a difference in how it'll show itself.
yeah, I could be wrong about that, but anyways, I like this. It also is a little bit. It's a 12:26:9, the MACD setting, but it's a little bit quicker.
Okay, good, looking good.
So anyways, that was why we took it. You want to let's see, change presenter.
I could do that. I'll go back here and
All right. Okay, I just changed it to you.
okay, got it. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yeah, I do. It's white. Okay, now I see the charts. Well, I mean, when you give me, uh, give me control like that so I can show the actual trade, I mean, I'm happy to do that, but I mean also then any comments, I can take advantage of those. I mean, that's the beauty of this room. I mean, maybe I overlooked something in my trade, or somebody else would have did something different.
Well, it's a matter of finding what works for you, and that's always been the underlying premise. It's just that sometimes the big part of what I do is to try to teach price action the right way and teach a better understanding of the indicators so that at least you're not following them blindly. You know what they're supposed to give you, and you know how the basics work.
Yeah.
Um, so I just want to follow up on these. We have Aussie dollar is still kind of dancing around. We still got this level here that we need to get past, but I'm still thinking short overall. And Euro pound has done like some pullbacks and you know got kind of sideways there for a bit.
Oh, by
And
the way, 1 minute, we have an FOMC member speaking, and he's
oh,
speaking to a labor force. Now, it's not noted as a red tag event, but
hmm
talking about labor, so you could get some movement.
okay. I'll keep that in mind then. The you said in 1 minute. Now here's Euro pound, the one that the one trade that didn't work out, where I read the wrong place to put the stop.
Yeah.
And our next trade, the pound dollar, we got that back and a little bit of gravy. So don't panic if a trade doesn't pan out. It's going to happen, but you can always get that back.
And
Um,
see, I like that Aussie dollar trade, but the pound dollar, I just didn't feel the love on that one. But who
well,
knows what's out?
yeah, and again, the signal was there. That's all I went by. Did it meet my entry rules? And that's all you really can go by a lot of times if it meets your criteria. I try to stay away from a lot of and I try to stay away from using phrases like, my gut, or I had a hunch, or I thought, or I believed, um, and try to really stick with the some sense of structured rules, because in the back of your mind, you're going to see like this is a big 1, 2, 3 here. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you get an educated hunch, it's often based on other experience that you see on the chart that you might not consciously recognize.
Uh-huh.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you may say, I got a feeling this is going to go down, but actually you're looking at all this other stuff going on, this little twin tower here, and
There's twin towers everywhere on that chart, and they all play out.
Yeah, well, every one of them. Yeah, I got a call for another binary broker. I'm still trying to get back to the binary because that was just it was just real fast money.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get any of it. So, it's basically no money for me, you know. Um, so I try to work with, for me anyway, with, when I take the different psychological profiles and all that, I prefer rule-based and I back it up with unconscious competence, they call it,
Mm.
where there's things you see on an unconscious level that have been burned in your brain, but you might not know it up at the front of your thinking.
By the way, the Aussie dollar, yesterday's low is 80.
Well, we're below yesterday's low. Then you're talking about 71.80. Let's just go take a look. I'm not sure what you're.
70, 80.
Right here. Oh, no, that's today. Right here. No, I don't see it.
I've got an India that'll put yesterday's high and low on your chart if you want it, Lou.
Yeah, if you can send it, that wouldn't be a bad thing to have. There's another method of trading that uses all higher time frame levels, and I know a few people that trade it. They trade the 1 hour charts, and they only trade the first few minutes of. They start looking for trades at like 15 minutes to the hour, and they're looking primarily at key levels. So these two trades look like they want to go in our direction. This is Aussie dollar, right? Yeah. And what's the other one? Pound. No, Euro pound is the one we're still in. Let me move Euro pound up since we're out of. And this is just a slow drag, but our stop loss you can see is in a decent spot down here, not quite at the low. You know what I mean? And that just looks decent. As I said earlier, these are going to be slow trades.
Dropped it in the Lou's step-by-step room.
What was that? Oh, where you posted the indicator.
Yeah, and on Skype.
Oh, okay. Let me. I don't see it.
In the step.
Oh, it just showed up. It just showed up. The weird. That's weird.
Well, the Russians might be messing with the cables.
Yeah, with those damn submarines. Yeah, I know.
So I got out of my Aussie trade, and Lou, you won't like this, but Michael, you will. I only took 2.5 pips.
Wow, get in there.
Oh man, that's swing trading at its best. Okay, so this is Euro pound. Now looks like we're price trapping here, which could mean a pullback to this lone soldier or this shelf right here, is what I'm thinking. All right, let's just, I'm getting the alerts, Euro pound up. And let's go back to Aussie dollar. And that's slowly moving in our direction, but I expected it to be a slow pace. But let's glance at some more charts. Let's take a look at pound Aussie. We just got an alert for. Oh, that's all sideways here, so I'm not really interested in this until this breaks either one of these highs.
Well, your Aussie dollar's taken off now.
All right, let's go back to Aussie dollar. All right.
You can say thank you if you want.
And let me see. Let me set this up.
Yeah, appreciate that, Daryl.
Oh, what was that? I missed it. My close order.
Daryl got out the trade for us so that it would fall.
Oh yeah, that was a nice move, Daryl. Taking one for the team. That's good stuff.
It is good stuff. 10%, please.
All right. So I'll take the manual 10 as I mentioned. But you see how this candle spiked down suddenly?
Mm.
That's why I have my stop down at like the 15, because if it spiked down suddenly and I wasn't there, at least I got it in my favor. But I will take, the manual 10. It didn't get there yet, but after this price trap, this is the first solid candle move after this price trap. So generally, the next couple of candles will meander their way farther down because now we're out of this congestion and somebody in here can make some money.
And it broke yesterday's low by almost 6 pips, so I like it to continue too.
Yeah. What we got? 1.7 spreads are decent today.
No news.
So, rather than watch this and get annoyed, let me pull this box down here. Where's the center of this box? Oh, there it is. That's kind of where I would expect the pullback to kind of stall out. I'll close this for the moment. If it jumps again, we'll be aware of it. And I wanted to take a look at the pound yen.
Okay.
Uh,
that Aussie dollar again.
Okay, pound yen looks like it could give us a little something. It does have some room, but it needs to break this pivot. So for me with pound yen, let me just do some math here. From here to this pivot, 2.5. So pound yen, it's got to move maybe another 10 pips and close above here. And if it gives up 10 pips, that would make this 97, which could still give us a little bit of room to the top. A little bit of room to play with.
Possible twin tower setting up on that one too.
Yeah, right here, yeah.
8 pips on the Aussie.
Okay. 8 pips on the Aussie. What? I missed that. I'm sorry. I'm kind of figuring this trade out.
Yeah, it's back down to 6.
That's a nice tag off of that. And what? Oh, now the spread is 4 on pound yen. Oh, you went back to Aussie dollar. Let me just go take a look. Well, we're out of it already, so.
No,
you're still in it, Lou.
In Aussie dollar? Oh, yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I thought that was a pound dollar was the one we closed. I'm sorry.
It's over 8.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll grab the manual 10.
Okay, it's 8.3.
Yeah. Let me put my close order. It's still going to fart around. I'll wait until it goes back to 10. Let me.
Michael and I are sitting here biting our nails.
Yeah, I know. I'm interested in this. Now, am I manufacturing a trade? No, I need to close above the pivot. So let me just stop. I'm trying to talk myself into pulling the trigger on this because where this candle gave us the arrow, we're right at that entry price. But we've been here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times at this pivot and haven't closed above it yet.
Yeah,
So,
and this current candle could turn out to be a twin tower as well.
9.5 on the Aussie, 10, 11. Grab it. Come on.
Yeah, done. Now let me go back and take a look at the Aussie, by the way.
Trade, Lou. Nice trade.
Yeah, well, that's what we try to do, is look for nice trades. And what we have here is euro pound. I'm sorry, Daryl, I missed that.
I said you need to send Michael and I some pom-poms.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll forego the short skirts and all that. There's just so much pain a person can take.
How about a kilt?
That might not be a bad thing either.
So this gal asked this bagpiper, I've always wondered, do you guys wear anything underneath those kilts? And he goes, occasionally a little lipstick.
There's another quick one, Daryl. same premise. The girl talking to the guy in the kilt, and she says, "Do you wear anything underneath that?" He said, "Well, why don't you put your hand under there and try and find out for yourself." So
Yeah.
she does, and she says, "Oh, that's gruesome." And he said, "Well, put your hand up there again. It's just gruesome more."
I like that one. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the only thing we have open here now. And let me see, where's euro and pound? Oh boy, they're right on top of each other right now. So you know what?
Take the money and run.
Yeah, well, close order. Let's see if it'll go to 5, because this should give us that third candle, 3 to 5. You know what I mean? Remember, it's 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either 3 or 5 candles in the direction of the trend.
Hmm.
So let's see if this third candle will creep down enough and give us 5, and I'll take the 5, and then make everybody happy. All right. Every time I sit to watch a trade, it just becomes an aggravating exercise. Let me just turn this off.
Yeah, she
All
went back to that cat yen. a
The
while ago.
pound yen. I'm going to go back to the pound yen.
No, I mean, I'm talking about cat yen.
Ah, no, see, this is what I'm looking for on this. And that was our signal. Are we more than 5 pips? Oh, shit, 10 pips already. God bless America. Close order. Let's go back to euro pound and take a look at that.
5, Lou.
5.3, I took it. Shit, I missed the pound yen. But this, again, think of the trade ahead. I needed to see it crack this level. Now, I could target this with some sense of confidence. But let's go down to a 1 minute, because we need a way into this. Piss. All right. And on 1 minute, there's no way in. And it's 10 pips past my entry price, which was right here. Shoot. Okay, well, missed it. It happens. It's part of the thing. I got no divergence here at all. Well, I have some divergence here, actually. And this showed up after the divergence. Let me just mark that so you could see it. And let me bring this up here. No, well, wait a minute. Oh, maybe my eyes were tricking me, because there's no divergence there. Prices went lower here. Okay, no, there's no divergence there. All right, let's start looking for a couple more trades. And the Aussie dollar, that we're done with at the moment. Euro pound. Where was my original take profit on euro pound? Because I'm pretty sure it would have gotten there, but you got to have a rule somewhere. Oh, no.
71.61.
Oh, look at that right there. We're
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm not unhappy. You got me, and as I said, that third candle should give us that 3. But again, that goes into price action DNA. These things all behave, and we came out of a price trap. So you're going to get 3 candles in your direction, 3 to 5, I should say. Here we had a big, ugly sort of consolidation and a bit price trappy. And here you had your 3 to 5, and then another price trap, and now you're 3 to 5 again.
And you had a beautiful 1889 there as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it all shows up. Once you deal with raw price, I mean, it really is a nice way to trade. All right, but I'm not unhappy with, taking the 5. Let's look at pound dollar. Now, the hyper scalp now would be, let me just go back to euro pound. The hyper scalp now would be to trade the pullback. You follow me? You wait for this thing to hit a level where you expect the pullback, and then you want to trade that, and then grab 2 or 3 pips back in this direction, and then wait for it to turn around, and then pick up some more back in that direction. So now that's what we'd be looking for, but not with the B-bands method, because with the B-bands, generally, if you don't price trap, like the nice thing with the B-bands is when you price trap, you usually get the first candle out of the break, as you do up here. You see that? Price trap, first candle out of the break, you're off to the races. With a turnaround on the B-bands, you usually have to get this sort of looping thing going on. You see that? So if you wanted to trade a hyper scalp with B-bands, it might not be as effective, because the hyper scalp would have been, let's say, this bottom here, this twin tower. When this twin tower formed, this would be your hyper scalp entry here. You follow me?
Yeah.
But with the B-bands, your entry is up here, which is what, 4 pips difference. And if you're scalping for quickies, that 4 pips can make a big difference, especially when you have to put the spread into the mix. That's just a bit of the DNA thing. And again, that's that unconscious competence thing, where I kind of see this stuff in my brain, and I may not actually say it. So we were looking for a $1 short. We made some money on the short, and now we've got this reversal here. Let's just see something. That's only 7 pips up there, and we've got a Christmas tree. Now pounds is extremely strong, and the dollar is not 2 points away from it yet. See, dollars is 5.4, and this is 6 points. So this could get up in here and do some more chop.
And it's a twin tower again.
Down here.
The next to the last but one candle.
Where
the arrow is.
Oh, there.
Where the blue arrow is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, that's a twin tower, and this was a twin tower also.
Yeah.
And we had divergence here. I'm sorry we didn't pick up on that. We had the divergence.
Yeah.
Oh, well, usually, let me back up. One thing I will say is when the arrow pops up, then I go back and see if there's a matching divergence to go with it, if it's a counter trend. Because this arrow pops up regardless of the trend. It's always going to pop up when we get that crossover on the B-bands moving average.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So the first thing I look for when I see an arrow that's counter trend is, do we have a divergence? Now, in this case, I would have wanted to jump down to a 1 minute, but with this candle having that much strength, it might not have given us anything. Let's just take a look. Oh, shit, we would have got one right here for about 10 pips.
Nice.
Minus the spread, so you had another 5 to 8, which is, the target when you want to scalp like that. You want to look for those 5 and 8s. And now it looks like this pullback might be over, and this is going to come back down. The only thing I don't like is that on the 1 minute chart, we're above all the moving averages. A real sweet trade is when right now, let's say we're below the moving averages here, and then you've got your pullback, and then when you go to the 1 minute to look to get back in, if the 1 minute is also below all the moving averages, that's another big plus, real big plus.
Say that again, Luke, please.
Okay. Well, this is not the exact situation I want to explain it in, but I'll use it. Right now, you see all of these candles are short in this area. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'll mark this candle. All right. So that's our B-bands short, let's say. If I go to a 1 minute, I would like to see all of the 1 minute price action below all the moving averages on the 1 minute chart also. You follow me?
Yeah.
Right. So now I'll go down to the 1 minute. We'll look for that line. And you'll see from this line, now that would have been an excellent trade. And you see all of the moving averages are I'm sorry, all the price action is below the moving averages the same way they are on the 5-minute chart. That's a trade where you can load up and maybe bump up your lot size.
Oh, okay.
All right. So as I was saying, in looking at this, I wanted to go down to a 1 minute and let's just see if we can get back into this, back in the direction of this trend. But when I went to the 1 minute, let me get rid of this line. When I went to the 1 minute chart, if I look at the 1 minute on current time, you'll see that all of the price action is actually above the moving averages, which means this could stall out right in here somewhere.
All right.
So I'm less likely to jump on that short trade if it were to show up right now. And we won't get an arrow until some of these candles are actually touching this this set of moving averages anyway. Now, right now we have a close above all the moving averages, and we're back near our entry price, and we've had our divergence, but that's only, it might be worth a shot to get 5 pips out of this, and we're right at the entry price again. So I'm going to take a shot at this for the to look for 5. Make a long story short, let me just bring this down here, and that's 7 pips. I can't see it. I'll go right to here, the small shelf here, because this shelf ties in with this little area. All right. And so right now we're above all the moving averages here. And now if I go to the 1 minute, on the 1 minute, we're above all the moving averages. You see that? So I have a little more confidence in this, even though I think it's going to be another slow moving trade. But we'll see. That's I could have cut my lot size down a bit, but we're looking for 5. So let's move this. Let's get rid of this. So delete. Let's move our take profit up. 3, 5. I'm going to move it up to this, right to these highs, because we do have the room left. You see here on pound dollar, we did 98. We've only done 30 so far today. So this does have some room to move. And okay, we're good on time. It's only 9:30. So it may take us a couple of days to get the, what do you call it? Oh, let me get my close order button ready. I let it go up a little higher because sometimes when you get it right at 5, by the time you click and everything gets done, you get out with a 4.8 or something. So I'd rather let it go to 5.2, 5.3, you know, and do it that way.
Beautiful trades today, Lou.
Yeah, it's just the system, you know. I'm just doing the system, following the rules. We got the divergence. We had the entry price. We came back. I mean, it's not, you know, but thank you anyway. I should just say thank you and shut the hell up and keep moving. But we, yeah. So the only brain fart, and again, this was a brain fart, this particular trade that didn't pan out because I misread the, and I was up late, so I know mentally I'm a little bit fatigued. But what happened was I misread the numbers on the take profit line, and I thought I had it. Ooh, I thought I had a 10 pip stop, and I actually only had a 2 pip stop.
Yeah, that trick never works.
What was that?
So that trick never works.
Yeah, I know. So this was that area here where I expected price to stall out and turn around. We've had our 3 candle pullback, 3 to 5 in our direction, 2 to 3 against us. And where's Aussie is down here at 2 point something, and the dollar is 4 point. It's just about 2 points apart, but looks more like we'll get more sideways stuff going on than anything else. But we'll see. See what happens when we tag the 55. And this could come right back down in here and make a twin tower.
The one I'm stalking right now is the odd CAD.
Aussie CAD, let's take a look at it.
In fact, I just took a small entry short based on the 1 minute.
Yeah, well, the one thing that did help, with the trading, the last 4 or 5 sessions is that I didn't sidetrack into a bunch of other lessons while I'm trying to trade at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just been let's just look at charts and trade. So that does make it a bit easier. Because when I get sidetracked and, I miss trades and all kinds of nonsense happens. I like this. How many pips away are we? 4 and 3. That's barely 5, but I'll take a stab at it. Let me go back to the 5.
I'm looking.
I took that on a 1 minute chart.
Yeah. I'm looking to the bottom. That's 10 or more pips.
To the bottom of what? I'm jumping around too much. To the bottom of this?
To the low of the day.
I don't know where the low of the day
Oh,
is.
it's right there. It's right there.
But we've got room. You see that? 76.
Oh, okay.
And again, it's, like I scan this thing just because I've just done it so many times. I saw that we had room to the bottom. We're already in an established downtrend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the 1 minute, and then on the 1 minute, we were also in a matching downtrend. And all of our price action is underneath our moving averages. So that's kind of a culmination of stuff I saw. Let's put in our stop. And you see that I just want to show you the mistake I made. You see where it says minus 2028? Well, I'm moving them out. See where it says 2104? That's not the stop loss, and I misread that on that euro pound trade, just not paying attention, which was just dopey. And where am I? Aussie CAD. I don't see anything on this 1 minute chart I want to use. I'm just going to lay that in there. Go back to the 5 minute and see if there's a level on the 5 minute I feel better about. The only decent level is right here, but that's so far away. Yeah, that's 17 pips away. I really don't see what looks better to me would be this shelf right here, and that's 9, and that's a little close for me. With a 3 pip spread, it's only got to come back 6 pips. So let's go 10 and 3. Let's just make it 15. I'll add the spread. Oh, it goes right back there again. Okay. And we'll, I want to bring this down here, right to this, I'll come right up above here where the 8 pips is. Just above this, this little shelf here. And see what happens. Now this is a pullback situation. We've got a twin tower down here, so I know this is a pullback. And this is the 5 minute chart. So we'll see. This may be another slow chop, chop, chop. Okay, so that's Aussie CAD. And we are selling that. Let's look at Aussie Yen, if that's in a sell mode also. They're right at the top of each other. And that's why you've got all this sideways stuff. Nobody's really winning this battle. Twin tower here. So this candle should finish red for our, I had a broker that had MT4 that you could do binaries on. and myself and another guy, we had built a couple of robots to try to take advantage of it, but they had so many quirks built in to prevent you from being easily successful with it. Like the number of times you could martingale and that sort of thing, and lot sizes and everything else. Let me go back to this pound yen. Oh, we did this. We got our money out of this. Okay. Let's take a look at CAD yen. CAD yen's got some room to the top, and that looks good. That actually looks pretty decent. 2.4 pips. But we're 5 candles up into this. This may come back a little bit and then give us another leg up, unless this is going to make a sudden thrust. But that wouldn't be a bad target up there. You see that? We need to, because right now this is a 1, 2, 3 showing short. Now this is not a classic twin tower because the prior candle is green. The ideal twin tower, the prior candle is the opposite color, so I just want to mention that. Yeah, see how this may give us a little bit of a pullback and then make a shot up. But there's plenty of room here. We did 140 yesterday and only 70 now. That could be something. Let me move CAD yen to the top and we'll take a look at that. What trade are we in? We're in Aussie CAD at the moment. So a CAD yen short would counter a CAD yen long would counter the Aussie CAD short, which would make sense. They should be moving in opposite directions because the CAD is on the opposite side of the equation here. Here the CAD is the base pair. Here the CAD is the cross pair. So they should move inversely. And let's just go down New Zealand dollar. That's got room too. And my thinking here would be short. Here's a twin tower. And again, the next candle is going to close the color of the tower candle. Oh, I was saying, yeah, we had an MT4 broker that you could trade the binaries on. But they had too much gamesmanship in all the rules and everything else. The other thing was the feed. A lot of the binary brokers, when you're trading things, you don't know what feed they're giving you. And the feed can be off by 5 or 6 pips or delayed by 5 or 6 seconds. That's one of the first things I asked them is, well, what are you using for a feed? Who's giving you your feed? This might give us another leg short here, this pound dollar. And pound is at 6 and the dollar is at 4, just about 2 apart. But we'll wait and see what happens here on this turnaround. See if we get a tag right there. Let me go to a 1 minute. Oh, let me mark this line so I know that that's the 18. And now go to the 1 minute. And where are we in relation to the 18 on the 1? We're tagging it right now. No divergence. Nothing here to speak of. Let's go back to the euro dollar. Let's go back to the 1, see if it's going to give us a... Now here's a situation where the candles are above, the price action is above all the moving averages right now, but the higher time frame is indicating a short, you see, because we're well below all the moving averages. So, and this is our target area for our pullback, would be right in there. Got a whole bunch of alerts all in one shot. And let me see. B-band's going up on euro yen. We'll get to that in a minute. And let's go back to the 1 minute. I don't want to manufacture a trade, but I just don't see it right now. And let's look at our Aussie CAD. Oh, I didn't put that up at the top of the list. Aussie CAD. Oh, that's just doing a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, it's got to crack this, and now it's price trapping. Now, this is the beautiful thing here. It doesn't matter which way this thing breaks, but once it does, you're going to get a couple of long candles. Remember how what we saw on the other pair? I forget which one it was, where we had several long candles, and then it price trapped, and then made some 3 candles down. So that same sort of thing could happen here, where we've got piano keys, piano keys, piano keys, and once we make a break in either direction, it'll be 3 or 4 candles in that direction. Nothing to do here, but watch paint dry. Now, why does this not look right? If this is -5 plus the spread, that should be about 10 pips. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't like this stop loss anyway, but we'll see.
What settings have you got on your B bands there, please?
Oh, come on. 5. Same settings.
5 with a 1 deviation. Yeah, okay.
Remember, this is a 1-minute chart we're looking at.
Yeah.
I've been using 8.
Well, again, there are a number of great settings that work with B bands. Like usually, like the 20 on a 15-minute or 1-hour chart is really nice, but you don't know when they're going to pop up. So if I'm sitting at the computer for a couple of hours a day, I wanted more trading opportunities, and that's why I shifted down to a 5 and sometimes a 3 on a 5-minute or 1-minute chart. So I'm doing it only because we've got an hour and a half, and I want to really show the whole process in that hour and a half.
Okay.
So you follow me?
Yeah, and I noticed your third line there, it says signal, and you have that set to 2.
Well, I'll show you what that does. If I set signal to 2, let me set it to 1, and you'll see what happens. It puts the stop loss dots in. See the dots?
Oh, yeah.
And again, these dots could be a moving stop loss. You keep moving your stop down to each prior dot or whatever. If I make it signal 0, then the arrows disappear and you only have the dots.
Yeah.
So it's just preference. And I've seen people, I've seen indicators that, where they only had the dots and they had some fancy name for it. And when I looked at B bands, I said, okay, that's what this is. So signal 2.
And are those dots the same thing as the dots that show up on the line?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, so if you had your other colors on there that showed the lines that connected the dots, are those the same dots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then boy, I have one that does. Let me see if I have it in here. I have one that does a B band's histogram. It might be in a different broker. Let me just check this other folder here. Deep bar, is that it? I think it's this one. Copy. File. Open data folder. Paste. Deep bar indicator. I think this is the one that does a B band on okay, let's just see if this is it. DLL inputs. Oh yeah, look, length, deviation, signal, line.
Yeah, that's the one.
Does that look real familiar to you?
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay, and then what they did was they just made it a histogram.
Yeah.
So now if I go here and set this to 5,
It'll be the same, yeah.
and you'll see that they'll match up pretty much spot on. Okay, but they'll sell this, and you see it's called the Deep Bar Indicator, $29.95, 3 easy payments of $8.50. Blah 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 blah. You know the sales pitch. And they'll have a whole bunch of graphs where they pick the perfect downtrend. Like they'll show you this, and then they'll be like 56 pips or whatever it was. Then they'll show you a different picture, only showing that same perfect setup.
Where can I get it? I'm just
And this is only the EX4, so they don't want you to even know what the underlying indicator actually was.
Yeah.
And this is being sold for X hundreds of dollars. A friend of mine gave it to me because he bought it and said, and then we sat down and looked at it, and he's trying to get his money back now. Because he thought he was getting something unique and special and all that, and he got the same damn indicator I gave him 4 years ago. But for some people prefer this look to this. So that's where I see it. It could be a helpful thing just because it's a different look.
Less clutter on the chart as well, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'll drop it in the room. It's only the EX4, so you can't really do much, with it. And I'll put it in the I'll put it in the Pip Factory room. Because the Pip Factory room is usually where we keep stuff for us. You see we had the breakout here of this potential trap, and we should get like this should end up being another candle down, but we'll see. Where's the Pip Factory room? There it is. I see Tony was writing something there. I have to go back and read that. All right, so there it is. So again, understanding, how candles form and what they do helps you not panic when you see certain bursts. Doesn't mean that you're going to win every trade, but when you understand how these things work over and over and over again, it does give you a better sense of confidence. The other indicator that is massively ripped off is MACD. I've seen more people do stuff and twerk and tweak stuff for MACD than probably any other indicator because it gives you so much information. Like they'll have an indicator that'll show you the paint an arrow when this bar closes higher than the signal line. You know what I mean? And then when this bar closes lower than the signal line, and all kinds of variations of that. So I like to do my research. I like to know what's going on. I like this little price trappy thing here. This is kind of cool because if it price traps here now, then it could give us that next leg down. Where am I? Let me close some of this stuff here. It's funny how you fill up the space you have. I got 4 monitors and still got stuff all over them. All right, so this is what time is it? It's almost 10. Well, we had a decent day. We had a brain fart trade, which that's all on me, just not reading the thing right. And the trade would have worked out had I put the stop in the right place. But so far we've had what, 2 trades that didn't pan out of the last 10 or 12. It looks like I'm not going to bother to count it, but we're back on on track. And let me see. This should slow up right in here somewhere. Let's scan some more pairs here while this is going. This is what Aussie CAD at the top of the list. Let's look at the Aussie dollar. That's trying to go long too. Let me go to a 5-minute chart. That's going to stall out in here probably. There's still a little bit of room. Still a lot of room. 50 pips. That's a long way to go. CAD yen. Okay, I hear my wife is up. I think this was one I wanted to take up here. Yeah, I remember this was a slightly lower high. I wanted to take it up to here, but I missed the entry then. This is our entry price. Oh no, we're less than 5 ticks away. And we've got some room to the top. So now I will take a shot at this. New order, buy. All right, I'm going to bring my stop down to this shelf. It's 18 pips. Oh, hell no. 2 pip plus 10, 15. I'm going to make this a 13 pip stop. And I'm going to bring my take profit up to, it's going to dance around this thing. I'm going to bring my take profit up to 10 just below there. Because you know price gets near these double zeros, it dances a bit. All right, let's go back to Aussie. Let's put CAD yen at the top. Let's put Aussie CAD. This is the 5-minute chart. We've still got room to the bottom, so this could dance around a bit. It's just going to be slow. Not much to actually do about it, except let it be slow. Any thoughts or questions on anything? And what I may do later in the day is slide this stop loss up if I don't feel a lot of love about this, and take the small bite.
I just put the altered B bands in the big factory with the bigger arrows.
Oh, let me go take a look. Okay.
Yeah, that blue color arrow on your charts doesn't really show up that well sometimes, Lou, does it?
Oh, this one?
The blue color one. It doesn't really show up sometimes. The previous one, it's got like kind of hidden underneath the candles and the 2.5 and the 18 there. Previous one.
Yeah, down here you mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean we could make them larger. It's just
As soon as you change the time frame, it'll revert.
Oh, so that has to go back into the
yeah, that's
the
why
coding
we
there.
the code. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget which one of these is the actual arrow now.
The 2 in the middle.
2 in the middle. What, number 3? No, it can't be the 2. Oh, yeah. Royal
3.
blue.
Yeah, royal blue. I mean, you can't get much darker blue than that.
Well, you can get navy blue. I did something wrong because it didn't change. I didn't accept it. A 3 and 4 it was, right?
No,
Or 2 and 3?
2 and 3.
Okay, change it to a 5. Yeah, that's, I guess I'm just used to seeing it. It is all it is. I'm used to, but yeah, they tweak it. The other thing is foreground and background too can make a difference.
Yeah.
If you want your indicator on top of the stuff on the chart or underneath it. Let's go back to Aussie CAD. And now we're back with this down signal. Not sure if that was there before, but this is going to.
What's going on?
I don't know.
See CAD. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. There's news right now.
Oh yeah, 10 o'clock news.
Okay.
I didn't take that into account. That could affect both these trades.
Pending home sales, which is orange.
Okay, and that's been iffy. It's been, a tick better than normal and then a tick lower than normal. The last few
Yeah,
things on
yeah, I would
that.
say it was bad. It was expected for 1.1, and it came out negative 2.3%.
Mm. All right, so let's watch these. I may decide to bail on these then. Well, I don't have the dollar in either one, so that's one saving grace. I won't get that sudden blast. But let's just see. And again, my primary impetus for taking this is that we've got quite a bit of room left on this Aussie CAD. And on CAD yen, we had some room left also. So that's going to tag us. Should have tagged us already. Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, but my key interest in this is that it did have room to the, not to the upside, but it had definitely a lot of room to move based on yesterday's numbers. And let's go back to Aussie CAD. Here's price trapping again, which is good. And that was CAD yen. Let's just see. Yeah, I didn't want a larger stop loss. I think the stop loss here would be safe, but I'm not paying that much for that trade. And if this Aussie CAD pays out, then we've got that back, so it's not the end of the world. Let me see here. I don't remember what the stop loss was. This take profit was 10 pips, so let me just move it down to 10. So if I'm not there. And again, it's got room to move, and that's what I'm looking at. This is solid red. It's just slow. So it's got to move 13 pips, basically, to give us our take profit.
Yeah, it needs to break that yesterday's low on that one, which is it's right there right now.
Here goes another one. That's got room to move too. I don't want to overtrade. I'll still be slightly ahead if both of these trades go south. We'll still be slightly ahead for the day. And our goal is to get to 200 so we can trade a larger lot size. And we finally broke this pivot on the pound. All right, I'm happy with the trades that we took.
Okay.
Happy with the results.
I just took 4 on that odd cat. I figured that's a bonus.
I hear you.
I was sitting here watching. Almost fell asleep.
Okay, so this looks good. You see how we sideways and then we get a strong candle out. Now we should get 2 more strong candles, which I feel would take us down to this down to the bottom here. So I like to see that price trappy thing and then an arrow. That's always kind of good. Let me just make sure I have this set at 10 before I disappear here. It's 10 and change. And I'll leave that. And that should pan. Oh, what did we lose on the last one? That was at euro. This was 28 CAD yen. So, you know what? I'll bring this down. You know what? I'm going to make this a 20. And I'll just monitor it. With the thinking being, if nothing else, when I monitor here, if I get to 28 bucks and equal what we lost, then that'd be a good place to shut it down.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah, and I agree. It looks like it could do that on a number of different levels. On the daily, the odd CAD just broke. Well, it is breaking yesterday's low, and
Oh, it's the first of possibly 3 candles too. Yeah.
so let me see.
And here's our take profit here. That's definitely a reasonable place. And it would put us in this channel. Let me just draw this out. You see that? That could certainly wick that channel and come right back. So yeah, that makes sense that it could go that far.
Yeah.
Unless there's some more bizarre news out there.
On the 1 hour, we have a level coming in at 28. 93.28.
When you say a level,
well, okay, so it's not anything super significant. It's not like a supply area or anything like that. But if you go back far enough, let me see. You're looking at October 6th. Let's see.
nice sideways there. All right. I am going to get into the other part of my life. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Same time, same place, and we'll keep moving forward.
All right. Thanks, Luke.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks a lot, Lou.
Yep. Be well.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Yep, thanks.